Brothers and sisters, just bear with me for a moment because I was the first one to hear it. And just as I am now, I was then. Because it's been a struggle. To know that? "60-odd years. What our forefathers has built for us, we need to make sure that we maintain this organization." So the planks that were made on the 7th of April, I continue to say it, that we heard them loud and clear. We make decisions in life sometimes, and we're going to be held accountable for them, right? The General Council, the Executive Board will be held accountable for the decision that they made by providing the performance bond back then through UAH, right? Brother Darren Woods made the point when he was downstairs that, you know, it should have came back to the membership. But that's a lesson, right? That's a lesson. And life's lessons, sometimes you're able to, you know, fix them and go forward. It's like your child. When your child makes a mistake, you correct your child. You hope that your child don't repeat the mistake. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they do. We're not perfect. We don't live in a perfect world. You want to be a perfect human being? Sit beside the Almighty. Because that's the only perfect being that I know is Almighty. None of us are perfect. We're going to make our share of mistakes. But having said that, you know, the Premier has said that, you know, the government provided proactive with the contract to build the senior secondary school. UAH provided the bond, performance bond back in 2001. The government today has made the decision to release UAH and the BIU out of their rights and obligations under the performance bond. So on behalf of the officers of Union Asset Holdings and the officers and members of the Middle Industrial Union, we wish to thank the Premier and the government of this country for this momentous decision. So it's been a long word. There are some debts that are owed to the BIU by Proactive, and how we go about doing that is another story. But the mere fact that the legal battle that we don't know, we're going to have to now go have a fight with the government in the courts, where it's going to cost them millions of dollars and cost us maybe $1 million or $2 million to have a legal battle with them, and not sure exactly who's going to win, because they could win or we could win. And I think we've made the right decision for everybody, that it's in our best interest right now for us to just say enough is enough and we each go our separate ways. So once again, Mr. Premier, on behalf of the entire BIU membership, I'd like to sincerely thank you and the government for what you've done.
Premier, my name is Dr. Jones, Postal Division. I just like to say thank you very much for the thing that you have done for the BIU, and I just hope that in the future that, like you just said, that we can sit down before any industrial actions or anything happens, that, you know, we as union and you as government could sit down like men and women and whatever the case and talk it out before we can get to any type of industrial action. And I would just like to say that, you know, the union and the PLP and the government of the day is that we are brothers in life and whatever the case is. And as brothers, we will have differences, but it's something that we could always work out because we are brothers. And as brothers, we agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, we are brothers. And I just feel that I would like to say on behalf of every member here, and I'm pretty sure that everybody feels the same way. I mean, I was like Chris, it brought a couple of tears to my eyes or whatever the case is, that the government done, I feel, that done the right thing for the brothers. You know, and I just want to say thank you very much. Brothers and sisters, I'm sorry. But I would just like to say thank you very much, and I just hope that in future, with any anything that happens with us as brothers, that we can sit down and talk before we do anything else. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Jones, let me just say that, you know, sometimes we judge a book by its cover, and we've all been taught how dangerous that can be. And because I wear a suit every day, this is my uniform. That does not make me insensitive to labor. I consider myself a laborer. I work hard, okay? And so yesterday when I was trying to get a little relaxation, I was over at Ocean View playing 9 holes. And I saw a trash truck come up, and I looked up, I said, those guys are working? And they said, then they stopped, and one of the guys said, oh, there's the premier. So the guy came down to talk to me. He said, he's the shop steward. Very nice gentleman. Approached me. Was very calm about what he had to say. And I asked him what was going on with that situation. And he told me. And I said, well, you sound like a reasonable guy, you know, and you're obviously intelligent. Why couldn't you use that, you know, a couple of days ago, you know, by simply saying to management, let things calm down for a minute after something happens that you don't like, right? You let it calm down for a minute, and then you as the shop steward go to the management, one person, man to man, and say, listen, you know, do you think it would be possible for me to sit with you for a few minutes and talk about this situation? Oh, no. And he said yes. He said yes, it could happen. And what I'm looking for, and it's not just that specific situation, but I think today's action shows you that the government believes in the kinship with the union, and that the government believes that the union deserves to have a future. But the only way you can have a future is to look forward and not drop backwards on old-style techniques that were better meant when the government was not you. There are people, I have to tell you, there are people who snicker and laugh at us when we're in Parliament. You know, they'll come up and say, that the union got you. You know, you and labor, what's the relationship between you and labor? You know, and we explain it, you know, the people have freedom to do what they want to do, but in our quiet moments, we would prefer that we could work things out and not right away. You know, dispute, 45 seconds, drop. We got to get over that, man, bottom line. We just do as a people. We need to get away from we need to lengthen the time between the disagreement and the downing. Because when you do this, you give people the impression that the brain power that you have is not being used. And I know better. I have relatives who started the Bermuda Workers Association. I've had relatives on your general council. You know, I understand what's going on. And the government works hard to try to make sure that you are protected. And you have people, even if I was not supportive of the union, I'm sure that there are many other people who you know support your interests. It's not always going to be like that. So you should make hay while the sun shines.